Thanks a lot for joining us. Talking about when the decision-making process you went through, when you decided to go, put your name into the draft. Who did you talk to, and what sort of, what was your process like in deciding, to go into the draft?
So actually, I talked to, my dad, Coach Dawkins, of course, Coach Norris, and Coach Drew, and that my whole point in doing it was pretty much for feedback. Seeing what the situation we're going through with the coronavirus and COVID-19. There weren't really workouts. It was kind of based off film. So Coach Dawkins said he didn't think it would hurt to at least go get that feedback from those teams. And so I went in and did it.
What about that feedback? What were the positive points that you heard about your game, and what are some areas that they suggested you could work on?
It's the same, pretty much the same that Coach Dawkins and the team told me that I should work on. My ball handling, the thing I can shoot, but putting the ball on the ground a little more, being more vocal, things like that.
Darin, and then obviously you had to make a decision to come back to school. Was that easy? Was there a lot of thought process into that, and how much of an impact? Obviously you just played your freshman season. What did you want to come back to college and learn more?
Definitely just to improve my game. I want to become a better leader on the court. I want to be able to do more than just shoot. Get to the hole. Put the ball on the ground. I feel like this year I could have, brought when we were getting pressed. Came to the ball a little more, things like that. So just to improve my game.
Were you able, obviously you said like you can't do workouts. Were you able all to do any sort of Zoom meetings with NBA teams or anything like that? Or was it strictly a paper evaluation?
Yeah, I didn't do any Zoom meetings or anything like that. It was, they had the film, they had everything, and went off that.
I want to go back to the past season. Talk about how your game evolved, how your confidence soared as you were experiencing success on the court.
I got more comfortable on the court. My team, actually, that came from my coaches and my teammates. They gave me the confidence. I feel like if I passed up some shots, like my teammates would tell me to shoot those, and my coach would tell me to shoot. And so, that just brought me confidence. And, I feel like I got more comfortable putting the ball on the floor towards the end of the year. I feel like I need to work on defense a little more, but I feel like I was in the right spots, and I feel like I got stronger throughout the season. So, I'm ready to carry that on this year, or next season.
Darin, obviously the season didn't end the way anyone would have expected it. Do you feel like you guys got closure on this past season?
I feel like we had some unfinished business, to be honest, so I feel like we could have went further than people expected. We underachieved this year, honestly. So I think we had a lot to prove on conference tournament time.
Darin, I know you just only completed your freshman season, but coming in, you're a guy that played every game, second on the team in scoring. Do you think you're going to feel a little bit different? Whenever you guys get back together in person for workouts, do you feel like maybe you're developing into more of a leader?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm developing into a leader. I felt that toward the end of the last season. I don't think my role is going to change too much different. That's all I need to prove to coaches that I can do a little bit more, than just shoot. So I think it should be, my role should pretty much be the same.
Darin, yeah, can you take me back a little bit to Fort Worth and that moment of the and observed in that moment?
It froze up. I couldn't hear it.
Oh, sorry. Can you take me back to Fort Worth when you guys found out that the tournament had been canceled? What that moment was like for you when you found out, and what you observed in that moment?
It was almost, unbelievable. I was like, man, like my freshman season is really over. And then, seeing our seniors, their college career ending like that was just, You know, man, it's something that I wouldn't even want to go through my senior year. You know, I hated it my freshman year, and I still have, you know, more time to play. You know, that's the college career ended. So, you know, coach always tells us that tomorrow's not promised. So, you know, and that was the truth that day.
What do you think the team needs to do in this next season to improve upon what was started during your freshman campaign?
Leadership. That's the biggest thing. We need to, you know, way more leadership, and you know, once we get like a solid leader, and you know, because everyone fights for each other already, so we need a strong leader.
Darin, just kind of looking back on your first year in college, what was kind of like the top moment for you? Like maybe when you're thinking about your freshman year, obviously we all got a lot of downtime. What was like the high point or the best moment for you personally?
For me personally, the game against Tulsa. You know, me and Matt Williams, we used to go back and forth about, you know, me breaking his record. And then, you know, during that game, I thought I was going to hit 12 threes, actually. You know, that's just the way I was feeling. And so, you know, I didn't get 12 threes, but I hit a good percentage. And, you know, that was my career high. And so that was a good game. And we got a win.
Darin, what have you been doing during the quarantine time to work on your game? I mean, you talked about some things you want to work on.
Oh, man.
Practice.
Man, I'm sorry. It froze up again.
Sorry, it's mine. How have you been working on your game? You know, in this unusual time with the quarantine, how have you been working on your game?
Oh, you know, I have weights at home. You know, our trainer sent us some bands, like some resistance bands, and so I've been, you know, staying in shape by running, you know, lifting, getting some squats, some push-ups, you know, sit-ups, and there's a park not too far from my house. So I go to the park and get my shots up every day, and that's pretty much it. You know, I go with one of my old high school teammates, so you know we can still social distance with that, not stay around, stay from a lot of people, and that's pretty much it.
Darin, a couple minutes ago, you mentioned Matt Williams and how you were communicating with him back and forth. Obviously, both of you guys are very good shooting the three-pointer. You mentioned his record, 12 threes in a game. Is that something now going forward? Are you kind of thinking about that in the back of your mind that you want to try to break that record or any of his other three-point records?
I mean, it's not something that I'm like chasing after. You know, if it happens, it happens. You know, but yeah, I would like to beat it. You know, I've told him that I'm going to beat his record. So, you know, we'll see.
Has talked about how he likes teaching young student athletes. What have you learned from Coach Dawkins?
Well, like for me personally, Coach Dawkins, he told me, you know, don't do anything you can't do, and don't show other people you can't do it. So, you know, with me as far as shooting, like sometimes I'll pass up shots and you know, drive. Let's say like I pass up a shot, drive in, you know, and have nowhere to go. You know, it was like, he'll always get on me like, why'd you not shoot it? You know, so he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't think I can't drive. It was just that I made a bad decision. You know, so making, you know, smarter decisions on the court, you know, and then doing what you do.
Darin, with no live sports, I know a lot of us have been watching ESPN every Sunday the past few weeks to watch the Michael Jordan documentary, Last Dance. Is that something that you've watched? And if so, do you have any thoughts on kind of maybe learning more about Michael Jordan in his prime?
Yeah, you know, I watched it every Sunday. I didn't miss an episode. And, you know, I was watching with my dad. I've always been a Michael Jordan fan, but just getting to see like how he was in practice, you know, one thing I want to do is like become more of a leader this year, and then seeing how he was leading his team, you know, and like telling them where to be, you know, getting on them in practice and like different things like that, you know, I think it was helpful for me to see.
In addition to that, I mean, obviously we all got a lot of downtime. What have you been doing to kind of, you know, pass the time? Any Netflix shows or anything like that? You've been catching up on video games or?
Not really. I mean, I don't really play video games like that. I actually did just get a PS4. You know, I just stayed in contact with some of the teammates as well. But I haven't really been watching Netflix. You know, once I'm done like working out and everything, I pretty much sleep and don't do homework, and that's pretty much my day.
Dan, I got another question, Darin. Just kind of, whenever you guys get back together and play this upcoming season, what kind of goals do you have? Now, having gone through 1 year and just kind of the unfinished business of last year, what kind of goals do you have for next season?
Well, personally, my goals are to, like I said before, just lead the team. Start bringing everybody together. I think we could do more things together, like off the court. Just bringing everybody together. It's gonna be a new group, so let's start off strong. All right,
Thank you, Darin. Be safe.
Thank you.
Darin.
You too.